Sometimes in life, everything seems set. You have a plan, you have a direction, you've made your calculations. You think, this is it, this is where my happiness lies. And then something happens. A door closes, an opportunity disappears. The path you were so certain about suddenly twists in a way you never expected. At that moment, you might feel confused, hurt, or even broken. But what if I told you that the very change you didn't want could be the greatest blessing you will ever receive? There are moments in life when you stand in front of a door that you've been knocking on for a long time. You've tried everything. You've prayed, you've worked, you've waited. And then that door closes. It shuts so firmly that you know it won't open again. In that instant, it is so easy to feel defeated, to feel as if life has been unfair to you, to feel as though you have been abandoned. But what if that closed door is actually the greatest gift you could receive at that moment? What if the rejection you felt so strongly is not the end of your opportunity, but rather a shield placed in front of you to protect you from something you cannot see? We live in a world where our eyes can only see what is in front of us. We cannot see around the corner. We cannot see the unseen dangers that lie ahead, and we cannot predict the future. But Allah can. His knowledge encompasses the past, the present, and the future in ways our minds cannot even begin to grasp. So, when He prevents something from happening for you, it is never without wisdom. That wisdom might not make sense right now, but if you hold on and trust Him, a day will come when you will look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to be this way." Think about the times in your life when you wanted something so badly. Perhaps it was a particular job, a relationship you were invested in, an opportunity you thought would change everything for you. And yet it didn't work out. At the time, your heart sank. You might have cried, prayed harder, and questioned why things didn't happen. But later, maybe months or even years down the line, you found yourself in a better place. You realized that the thing you thought was your dream would have brought more pain than joy. That person you wanted to be close to may have brought you harm. That job might have taken away your peace and faith. In those moments of realization, you can't help but feel grateful for that closed door. Closed doors are not a sign that Allah has abandoned you. They are signs that He is guarding you. Sometimes He removes a path because the journey on it would hurt you more than it would help you. Sometimes He takes away an option because it will distract you from your true purpose. Sometimes the delay or rejection you face is because there is something better prepared for you, and if you were to take this now, you would never reach the one that was meant for you. This is why patience and trust are so essential in our lives. Patience is not just waiting for something to happen, it is the calm acceptance that Allah's timing and decision are always better than your own. Imagine you are traveling down a road and you are so sure it's the right way. But ahead, there's a bridge that has collapsed. If you keep going, you will fall and be injured. Now imagine someone stopping you at the last moment, insisting that you turn around and take another route. In that moment, you might feel annoyed. You might argue, saying this road is faster, smoother, and exactly where you plan to go. But what you don't realize is that you are being saved from disaster. Later, when you hear about the collapsed bridge, you suddenly understand the wisdom. Life is filled with these moments where we think our path is perfect, but Allah intervenes because He sees what we cannot. This is why we must remember that when a door closes, it is not rejection from Allah, it is redirection from Him. It's a divine way of saying, I have something better for you, trust me. Even if that better thing does not appear immediately, it will come at the right time, in the right way, and with the right blessings. And when it comes, you will realize it was worth every moment of waiting. Sometimes the door that closes is not just about saving you from harm, it is also about saving your faith. Allah knows which paths will strengthen your connection to Him and which ones will weaken it. There are opportunities that may look perfect on the outside, but will take you away from your values, your principles, and your peace. By closing those doors, Allah is preserving not just your worldly life, but your hereafter. That is a gift beyond measure. Now, let's talk about delay. We live in a time where everything is fast. We want things instantly. Instant food, instant replies, instant results. But the reality of life is that the most valuable things take time. A seed does not become a tree overnight. A child does not grow into an adult in a week. The most beautiful journeys take patience. So, when something you have been asking for takes longer than expected, it does not mean you have been forgotten. Delay is not denial, it is preparation. When you are waiting, Allah may be preparing you for what you are asking for. Sometimes, if He were to give it to you right now, you would not be ready to handle it. Your heart might not be strong enough. Your skills might not be developed enough. Or your faith might not be grounded enough to protect you from the challenges that come with that blessing. Blessings are not just about receiving, they are about sustaining. A blessing given too soon can become a burden. A blessing given at the wrong time can become a test you fail. But when it comes at the right time, it will uplift you rather than crush you. Think of someone who suddenly receives a great amount of wealth without the maturity or discipline to handle it. That wealth can destroy them, lead them into wastefulness, arrogance, or even sin. But if that same wealth comes when they have learned humility, gratitude, and generosity, it becomes a means of doing good, helping others, and drawing closer to Allah. This is why sometimes your dua is answered not by giving you what you want immediately, but by shaping you into the kind of person who can receive it and use it well. Delay can also mean that Allah is aligning circumstances in your life so that when the blessing arrives, everything around it will support it. He may be moving people into your life who will help you succeed, removing people who will harm you, or creating opportunities you cannot see yet. Imagine planting a tree. You don't just throw a seed on the ground and walk away. You prepare the soil, water it, protect it from pests, and wait for the right season. In the same way, Allah prepares the ground of your life before allowing the blessing to grow. And while you wait, there is another gift in the delay, the strengthening of your faith. Waiting teaches you patience, reliance on Allah, and contentment. These qualities are treasures that will serve you far beyond the blessing you are waiting for. They will make you stronger in every part of your life, helping you face challenges with dignity and hope. Sometimes, the thing you are waiting for is also being prepared for you. Just as you are not ready yet, that opportunity may not be ready either. The job you want may not yet exist. The person you are meant to meet may still be in another place. The situation you dream of may still be unfolding in the background. Allah's plan is like a puzzle where every piece fits perfectly, but each piece must be placed at the right time. If you try to force it too early, it will not fit, and you will only frustrate yourself. So when your path is redirected or your plans are delayed, remember, these are not random setbacks. They are purposeful pauses. Every detour, every delay, every closed door is part of a greater plan designed for your good. You might not understand it in the moment, but one day you will look back and see how it all came together perfectly. The job you didn't get led you to a better one. The person you lost made space for someone who values you more. The opportunity that slipped away brought you to something far more fulfilling. And you will realize that the redirection and the delay were not obstacles, but stepping stones. The greatest peace comes from trusting that Allah knows what you need, when you need it, and how you need it. He knows the dangers ahead, the hidden traps, and the unseen blessings. He knows which paths will lead you to happiness in this world and success in the hereafter. So the next time a door closes or your wait becomes long, do not despair. Instead, remind yourself this is not the end. This is preparation. This is protection. This is love in its highest form from the one who never makes a mistake in his planning. All right, Ismail, I'll now expand Keynote 3 and Keynote 4 into a single continuous 3,000-word speech that flows naturally, deeply engaging, spiritually educational, emotionally powerful, and written exactly in that heart-stirring style you want. No mention of any name, no headings, no conclusion, just a smooth flow. There are times in life when you are walking down a path so confidently that you can almost see the destination in front of you. Everything feels like it's falling into place. You've planned, you've worked, and you've convinced yourself that this is exactly where you need to be. Then, without warning, something changes. The road you thought was straight suddenly bends. The plan you thought was perfect collapses. You find yourself moving in a completely different direction, and your heart struggles to understand why. You feel as though you are drifting away from your dream, but in reality, you may be moving closer to your true destination than ever before. We must remember that life is not a straight line. It is a journey filled with turns, detours, and unexpected paths. These changes are not accidents. Every shift in your life is part of a divine plan. The one who created you knows your purpose better than you do. He knows which roads will lead you to fulfillment, and he knows which roads will drain you, harm you, or take you far away from your real potential. Sometimes, what you think is the fastest road to success is actually a shortcut to a place that will bring you pain. And sometimes, the longer, more winding road is the one that will strengthen you, shape you, and prepare you for something greater than you imagine. If you were to climb a mountain, you might think the straight path to the top would be the easiest, but climbers know that the safest way is often through zigzag trails. It might feel like you're moving away from the peak at times, but each turn is carefully designed to help you reach the summit without falling. Life works in a similar way. The changes in your path, even when they seem to push you further from your goal, may be the very steps that are guiding you to reach it safely. Often, when our direction changes, our first reaction is resistance. We want to fight it. We hold on tightly to what we had planned. We keep looking back at the road we were on, wondering why we had to leave it. But the truth is, if you could see what lies ahead on that road, you might be thankful you were taken off it. There could be traps, heartbreaks, or dangers you cannot see. And if the one who knows all things has gently moved you away from that, it is not because you were unworthy, but because you were worthy of something far better. Sometimes the new direction may not look appealing at first. It might be a path that feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable. It might require you to learn new skills, meet new people, or adjust to a new environment. But every new step is building something in you: resilience, patience, wisdom, or humility. These are qualities that will not only help you in your new journey, but will also bring you closer to your true calling in life. We often think that success is about reaching a certain place, but in reality, it is about becoming a certain person. The redirection in your life is often about shaping who you are so you are ready for the destination when you arrive. And then there are the moments when we lose something or someone we love deeply. This is perhaps one of the hardest forms of redirection to accept. You may have built your happiness around a person, a dream, or a situation. Losing it feels like losing a part of yourself. Your heart aches, your mind is filled with questions, and your soul feels heavy. But sometimes that loss is not about taking away your joy. It is about leading you to a greater, purer joy that you could not have found otherwise. We often attach our hearts to things or people in the hope that they will give us peace. But the truth is, no created being can give you complete peace. They can bring comfort. They can bring companionship. But the deep, unshakable peace you long for comes from the Creator alone. When something is taken away from you, might be because you were holding on to it so tightly that you were forgetting the one who gave it to you in the first place. That removal might hurt, but it can also open your eyes and heart to the reality that your ultimate source of love and happiness is not in what you lost, but in the one who has always been with you. There are people who look back at the deepest losses of their lives and say, "At the time, I thought this would destroy me, but now I see it was the turning point that saved me." This is because sometimes you have to lose something you love to discover something you will love even more. A relationship with Allah that is stronger than before, a sense of purpose you never knew you had, a new chapter in life filled with opportunities you never considered. Think of a bird whose nest has been destroyed. In the moment, it is chaos and loss. But that bird doesn't stop living. It finds new branches, gathers new twigs, and builds again, often stronger, safer, and in a better location than before. We are not so different. Losing what we thought we needed forces us to rebuild, and in rebuilding, we often find a better foundation than the one we had before. It is also important to understand that when something is taken away, it is not always because it was bad for you in every way. Sometimes it served its purpose in your life, and that chapter simply needed to end for a new one to begin. Holding on to something beyond its time can stunt your growth. Just as a plant must sometimes be moved to a bigger pot to continue growing, you may need to be moved from one stage of life to another to reach your full potential. And sometimes that moving comes in the form of loss. When we lose, we are often given something in return. It might not be material, but it could be spiritual depth, emotional strength, or a renewed clarity about what truly matters. These are treasures that remain with you far longer than any temporary thing you might have held onto. And these treasures prepare you for the future in ways you might not even realize right now. A change in direction and a loss of something dear can feel like the most painful experiences in the moment, but they are often the very events that set you on the path you were meant to walk. They strip away what is unnecessary, they build your reliance on Allah, and they guide you towards a life that is richer in meaning. You might not see it now, but there will come a day when you look back and see that every twist, every turn, every tear was leading you exactly where you needed to be. All right, Ismail, I'll now expand Keynote 5 and Keynote 6 into a single continuous 3,000-word speech in that engaging, heartfelt, and spiritually educational style. No name mention, no endings, no ending, just a smooth flowing delivery. Our plans are small, but we often think they are perfect. We draw timelines in our minds, we imagine the details, we map out the steps, and we convince ourselves that this is how life should go. But life rarely follows the blueprint we design for it. There is a greater plan at work, a plan that sees what we cannot see, that knows what we cannot know, that accounts for things we have not even imagined. We must understand that divine plans are always better than human plans. No matter how wise we think we are, our vision is limited to the present moment and perhaps a little of the past. We cannot see the ripple effects of our choices in the future. We cannot see the traps that lie hidden ahead or the blessings that are quietly being prepared for us. If you were to watch a small child trying to grab something sharp, the child may see it as a toy, something fun to play with. But as an adult, you see the danger. You remove it from their hands, even if they cry in frustration, because you know that it will harm them. In the same way, there are things we reach for in life that look appealing to us, but in reality they may harm us in ways we don't yet understand. The one who knows all things may take them away, not to hurt us, but to save us. Sometimes this happens in ways that are so sudden we are left in shock. You may lose a job you thought was secure, a relationship you thought was unshakable, an opportunity you thought was certain. In that moment, your mind might race with questions. You might wonder why everything collapsed when it seemed so right. But if you hold on, if you remain patient, and if you trust, you will begin to see the wisdom unfold. That job might have led you to compromise your values. That relationship might have broken your spirit. That opportunity might have led you into a place where you would have lost your peace. What feels like loss in the moment often turns out to be rescue in disguise. And the truth is, sometimes the thing you are being guided towards is something you once prayed for, though you may have forgotten. Many times we ask for happiness, for peace, for a better life, for stronger faith, but we expect the answer to arrive in a way that is easy and comfortable. We forget that for the answer to reach us, something may need to change. Doors may need to close, people may need to leave, situations may need to shift. And when that happens, we sometimes resist it, not realizing that this is the very beginning of our prayer being answered. Imagine someone praying for a healthier life. They expect to wake up one day with more energy and strength, but instead they lose a harmful habit or are forced into a new routine that pushes them to eat better and rest more. At first, it feels like a disruption, but later they realize it was the path to exactly what they had asked for. The same is true in matters of the heart, in our work, in our faith. The redirection you fear may actually be the first step towards the very thing you once begged for. We sometimes think that our prayers are ignored if they are not answered instantly. But answers take many forms. Sometimes the answer is yes, but it comes in a different way. Sometimes the answer is not yet, because the timing is not right. And sometimes the answer is, I have something better. And for you to receive it, the thing you are holding onto must first be released. There is a beautiful reality in knowing that the one who answers your prayer knows how to deliver it in the best way possible. You might ask for success, but he knows that success without humility will destroy you, so he first teaches you humility through trials. You might ask for love, but he knows that love without self-respect will harm you, so he first teaches you your worth. You might ask for provision, but he knows that wealth without gratitude will make you forget him, so he first plants gratitude deep in your heart. Every step, every delay, every loss is part of shaping you into the person who can carry the blessing without it crushing you. This is why trusting divine planning brings peace to the heart. When you truly believe that nothing in your life happens without purpose, you stop wasting energy on resentment and instead focus on growth. You begin to see challenges as lessons and detours as guidance. You stop clinging to what is taken from you and start opening your hands to what is being given to you instead. And this shift in perspective changes everything. Think of a traveler walking through a dense forest. They may have a map, but there are areas on that map they cannot see clearly. A guide walks with them, steering them away from certain paths and taking them through others that seem longer or more difficult. At first, the traveler may feel frustrated, convinced that the guide is making things harder. But when they finally emerge from the forest, they realize they avoided cliffs, swamps, and dangerous animals because they followed the guide's direction. Life is no different. We are all travelers, and when we trust the guidance that comes from the one who knows the terrain of our lives, we are always led to safety and goodness, even if the path feels rough. And sometimes the most powerful shifts in our lives happen when we are taken off a path we thought we could never leave. We may cry, resist, and plead for it to remain. But later, when we stand in a place of peace and clarity, we will thank Allah for pulling us away. Many people can testify to this, that the heartbreak they thought would destroy them was the very event that led them to find themselves again, to rediscover their faith, and to find a life that was far more fulfilling than what they had before. So, the next time your plans collapse, instead of rushing into panic or complaint, turn to Allah and say, I trust you. You see what I do not. Guide me to what is better. This attitude will transform your pain into patience and your confusion into clarity. Remember, Allah never redirects without purpose. His plans are never late, never early, and never wrong. If He changes your path, it's because where you were heading is not where your heart will find true peace. And when He takes you somewhere else, you will eventually realize it was exactly where you were meant to be all along.